I can go through all three of them with you one by one. I think there are 9 in the collection altogether, but it's still, because of the damage in your hair, it's still worth, I think, investing if you can afford it, even just in a couple of these. Let's just have a little look at the hair first of all. I think it's just really from bleach, isn't it? Maybe hormones as well. How old are you again? Oh, okay, yeah. So it could be hormonal changes, which is making it a little bit finer. But the main thing I can see from looking at this is bleach damage. I don't think it would take much to get it back into decent quality. Possibly we could just trim some of the ends now, actually. If you don't mind me just taking off some of this. Okay. Yeah. Now, I'll go through each of them one by one and I'll describe the best way to use them. These are my particular favourites. There are, as I said, 9 out there altogether. So, let's start with this one. This is Olaplex number 3. Now, this, I would say, out of all of the products, is the best one. They do recommend that you use number 1 first. But if you want to save money, I have experience with using this one without one and with one, and I would personally say, or is it 0 or 1? I must check. I think actually it's 0. Yeah, it's 0. So I've had experience using this with and without 0, but my personal preference is that you don't really need number 0. I think it's 0, not 1, because this one does quite a lot by itself. So you open it up and you just use a tiny amount, just a really tiny amount. You give your hair a wetted towel dry it, so it's best it's a bit wet, and that is why spraying with 0 can come in handy, because obviously it does wet it. And we just rub it into your hair like this. Just rub it into all the parts of your hair where you really feel that you have that damage. Now, some people that I've spoken to leave it on for a very long time. I met this one, they do left it on all night long, but my personal opinion is that you just give it 15 minutes, just set a timer, leave it on 15 minutes, and then you wash it off. Now, you could wash it off with their shampoo and their conditioner. I personally don't think you really need to use their shampoo and their conditioner if you wanted to save money, because these are not cheap products. But number 3 would definitely be worth it for your hair. Yeah, I think this is all quite dry back here, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. So this is the main one I would invest in if you can for your hair. So then that moves us on to the other one. If you did want to invest in the shampoo and the conditioner, or at least the conditioner, my personal favourite is the leave-in one. This is a new one. It's called number 5 leave-in. It comes in a bigger bottle than the number 3, as you can see, but I feel like you don't need much of this actually. So you take your leave-in, let's say you've washed your hair, so you've put this in, number 3, you've given your hair a wash, and you've come out, and you just put a little bit in there, I'll just rub it into your hair. Put them there so you can see. I'll just rub this in. There we go. You obviously do not need to wash this out. Now, because of having the number 3 in, can you see, feel how easy it is to brush through your hair? Actually, as well, if you wanted to change your brush, so this is the one that you currently use, but I would recommend using this one is actually specifically a wet brush, and it's got very fine bristles. And if you take your hair, so you've washed it, you've had number 3 and you've washed it out. And can you see how easily that glides through your hair? That's lovely. Yeah, can you see the difference? And that's because of number 5 and number 3 together. They work very well. Now the final one that I do like to use, and again I know they're expensive, so if you had to only buy one because of the bleach in your hair, I would go for number 3. This one is fantastic, I think, but this one is slightly more affordable. It is small. It's number 7. Now you can see how small it is compared to the number 3, but you don't need much. You just use a tiny bit. People recommend that you just drop it from this side. Boom, boom. Did you see that come out? You rub it in your hair. And then all you do is you just rub it into your hair. I particularly like to use the ends. Just rub it in. Can you see how soft that is to brush now compared to before? So that is amazing compared to how it was before, isn't it? Just that texture of hair has just really improved. So those are the 3 that I would probably recommend if you wanted to invest in it. So I would say number 3 at the top, and then either of those really. This is also very good for heat protection for when you blow dry or anything. But you can feel the quality of the hair so much better, can't you?